Wow. So in the last 7 days, we've seen crypto starting to pump with Bitcoin now approaching $19,000. Actually, at the time of filming this video, Bitcoin broke past $19,000. Ethereum is at over $1,400, and we're seeing some pretty solid volume coming back into the markets. Now, ladies and gents, we've been through the ringer many times. If you guys have been following along on this channel, we've had many different pumps, we've had dumps, and we've gone through one of the most brutal bear markets of the season. In this video, I want to talk about the important question that's on everyone's mind, and this is whether or not the crypto market is going to continue to pump, or if this is another fake out and a trap for other investors to continue losing money. So guys, real quick, just taking a look at CoinMarketCap, man, it looks like we're seeing similar action of how it felt during the peak of the bull run. Bitcoin is now up about 14.5% in the last 7 days. Ethereum is up over 13% in the last 7 days. And if you guys didn't know too, alongside a lot of the other altcoins are starting to pump. Gala's up 122%, APT 87%. Even on top of that, we're actually hearing that some other meme coins like Bed Bath & Beyond have been going parabolic too. All right, so what in the jung is going on? Well, let's break it down and answer the question on why the crypto markets are pumping and what is actually happening today. Well, a lot of this actually has to do with a massive short squeeze that took Bitcoin from 17K to almost 18K on Wednesday, and then a short squeeze that happened a second time, which popped the price back to above $19,000 within a 48-hour span. So Cointelegraph shared a tweet from a hedge fund CEO showing that within a 4-hour period, over $86 million worth of Bitcoin shorts were liquidated. On top of that, there's a lot of debate, a lot of speculation on what's happening fundamentally that's forced Bitcoin to squeeze like that. So I've been able to find about 6 different reasons and catalysts which have all happened around the same time, which may have resulted in Bitcoin pumping up. So let's go through that right now. We're going to go from least to highest in terms of effectiveness of what's actually being the catalyst. So the withdrawal date for users to take out their staked Ethereum is also coming up in March of 2023, and several crypto media companies have covered this article and talking about how Ethereum could start driving back up in price. It always starts with did the chicken lay the egg, or the egg, come from the chicken type of deal? Like, what actually happened first? Regardless of whatever the theory may be, we know that Ethereum is still making strides. They've been able to hold a pretty strong support level, and it seems like right now they are getting some more positive action alongside what Bitcoin has been doing. Now, this one here is actually pretty awesome too, because a lot of people who had their money stuck up in Voyager are finally getting some answers, because it looks like Voyager digital users might actually be receiving around half of their lost crypto from 2023. I'll talk more about that in this episode later on, but following that, FTX has also recovered nearly half of their lost funds, bringing some additional hope to FTX customers recovering reimbursements for their lost crypto and cash. On a more legislative level, we got El Salvador coming back into the picture because they also passed a key Bitcoin legislation bill that brought crypto back in the conversation on an international level. It was also worth noting that Miss Universe of El Salvador wore an outfit showcasing Bitcoin at the beauty pageant on Wednesday. I don't know if this is what's gonna pump the markets up, but it really is a catalyst of a lot of different angles that we're seeing. On top of that, we got some word that Amazon Web Services have also partnered with Ava Labs, which is the developer of the Avalanche network. And with this partnership, we're going to be establishing a bit more credibility and hope within the crypto industry. And last but not least, what I consider to be the most important catalyst out of all of it, and what I believe is the real reason the markets have been doing well, is because yesterday we got a release of the December's CPI report, and it turned out to be pretty amazing. What this report has showed us is that inflation rate has now eased in December, and for the 6th straight month in a row, it's showing that the Fed's aggressive hawkish stance might actually be working. So aside from the craziness, if you guys haven't heard, like, eggs are ridiculous in price now, inflation overall has come down, where in December it is at 6.5%, down from the 7.1% in November, and well below the 9.1% peak in June. Core CPI, which excludes energy and food prices, also rose to 5.7% in December, down from the 6% jump in November. Now, the largest contributor in bringing December's inflation down was in the energy sector, where overall energy dropped 4.5%, but more specifically, it was fuel oil that dropped 16.6% and gasoline that dropped 9.4%. So what does this all really mean other than the cheap gas prices? What is like the TLDR that you guys need to go home with? Basically, the December CPI report was really good news, and the figures are showing that the federal government is on track to reduce the size of interest rate increases to 0.25 basis points moving forward. Now, 6.5% inflation is still pretty high in relative to the standard of 2% that we saw before all the craziness had happened, but the massive decline in gas prices is now showing a bit more balance in the CPI report, and I look forward to hearing Jerome Powell speak at the next FOMC meeting, because clearly this is really what the catalyst is on every time we get a dip or a huge movement upwards in the market. I'm also a firm believer that, all these little things like Miss Universe wearing the Bitcoin thing, it would have had no effect on the market unless we had seen good news coming from the feds. Investing is relative. Some people say it's hard, some people say it's easy, but the data is so factual. It's like anytime we get good news from CPI reports or the feds decide to change their stance on how much they want to put up interest rates or if it's going to slow down, we see direct correlations with how the markets perform. Simplify the way you move towards investing this year. If you're a believer that inflation is going to continue cooling down, and every time that happens, we've seen with historical data, markets do a bit better, then we could definitely come to the conclusion that a recovery may be imminent. It might not be a full-blown bull market that we've seen like before in the past, but it could also result in the fact that there may be a stronger bear market rally or a recovery rally where you can at least make some decent change during this year. Now, I mentioned in some of the positive catalysts like FTX announcing earlier this week that they'd be recovering more than $5 billion in cash. I do also want to make note that this could be mixed news also for several reasons, because if they have access to this cash, they are saying possibly it could go back to the people who have lost their money. It may also result in them selling a whole bunch of assets at once. And anytime we get huge selling pressure, especially coming from some of these larger whales, we see the market getting some more, I would say, negative pressure. With regards to Sam Bankman-Fried, because, it's been a little bit of time since we had an update on him, his court hearing is coming up in about 9 months for the month of October. And if that time comes around, we're definitely going to be able to see some justice happen. A lot of people are a bit more wary on the fact that something may happen, like real justice will occur, but only time will tell on how this will all play out. Going back into what I mentioned with Voyager, here are the main details you need to know. So U.S. District Court has basically granted initial approval for crypto firm Voyager Digital to now sell some of its assets in a proposed deal worth roughly $1 billion. Now, this deal isn't going to be final until court hearing is held for the month of March, but many people right now are still optimistic about the outcome, that people are at least going to be able to see some dollars coming back in if they had lost it within using that exchange. If that deal is executed, Voyager customers aren't still getting back 100% of their capital. It's estimated to note that you'll be getting at least 51% back of your money. While this whole update has seemed like it's been good news, keep in mind that there are always going to be the bears now speaking louder. And even right now on crypto Twitter, like there was one tweet here from Capo of Crypto who said, one of the biggest bull traps I've ever seen. Another user stated the DOJ is preparing criminal indictments against Binance. Nexo is raided by 300 police officers. Gemini and Genesis were sued by the SEC. Metropolitan Bank pulled support for Crypto.com this week, and people are celebrating a pump for ants. It is always good to take both sides of the equation, to hear the good, to hear the bad, and then make a formulated guess for yourself. But I will also note that during the entire previous bull run that we had that had lasted for, I would say, a greater length of a year, we had so many accounts constantly saying, this is a trap, this is a trap, all while people are making money going to $70,000. And even on the way down, it's usually those same people that say, oh, it's not down anymore, it's going up. So within the finance industry, there are things called like the Jim Cramer effect. Just be very wary of that. Have some discernment on which accounts may be talking from factual evidence or truth, or whether or not they're just trying to get more engagements on their account. So I mentioned this in our Patreon, in our Discord a few weeks back, that I would be tax loss harvesting, basically where you're able to sell your assets, keep those losses. So whenever things get better in the market and you have gains, that you can offset those taxes and you can pretty much keep all profit. This is something I highly recommended everyone in our group to do. I went ahead and and did that, I realized a lot of those losses and I bought back those assets. And what turns out is it happened to be about 2 weeks ago when I did that. And if the market continues to ride, I would have accidentally timed the bottom. Like, I'm not going to take credit for that, but based on since when I decided to trigger those losses for the purpose of tax loss harvesting, I mean, yeah, we're up a significant amount. So only time will tell where the entire markets will go. But like always, guys, just because we're seeing some green, it doesn't mean that you should be going full blown back into the markets. Just stay the course, y'all. If you had planned to dollar cost average very slow, that's fine. But don't just FOMO in because we've seen a little bit of growth happening this week. We are still amidst very risky, shaky times. This means that the market could go either way. It doesn't mean we're out of the neck of the woods just yet. Now, to wrap this video up, I want to give a little bit of a gift from y'all because Quantum Miami, which is one of the biggest Web3 events, reached out to us and let us know that they got some free tickets that they're giving away. Anytime y'all can get anything for free, this is actually 5 tickets worth $7,500. I will always say yes because I want to make sure maybe there's even one person out here who might live in Miami, who might live in Florida, who might already be planning to attend this event and they, didn't buy a ticket. This is for y'all. So last year's event was headlined by Mark Cuban and new speakers are officially being announced daily. They even have the mayor of Miami, the CEO of Phantom, and many more coming to attend. This event is going to be one of the best from networking, making connections, finding some invaluable deal flow, and also getting into the game-changing industry of disruption within the crypto space. In order to qualify, all you got to do is just follow me on Instagram, follow me on Twitter, and then comment down below in the comment section with your Instagram handle and a reason why you love this YouTube channel, and I'll reach out to 5 people to give away these tickets too. If you happen to not win any tickets and you really want them, you can also get 20% off by using the link down below in the description using code JUNG20. Disclaimer, that is an affiliate link. They're giving me 10% back on that. I tried working out a deal with them where instead of me getting like 30% commission, y'all could at least get 20% back off your ticket price, and that 10% is going straight to the company. Thank you all so much for watching this video. If you guys want to have a chance to qualify, comment down below. I'm just gonna base it off of like the nicest, longest comments that I see. Now, like always, have an amazing day, guys. See y'all next time. Peace.